Welcome to the MUM UK. This is our second time here. We were in London 2 years ago, and so this time we came here to Birmingham. So let's start shortly about us and what we do. So in short, we create networks. Everything you can think of about networks, starting from small routers for home and personal use, for the road, the wireless, 60 gig wireless, ISP level Ethernet routers. We've got it all. We are already 22 years old, so we're considering ourselves adults now. So we were established in 1996, just a couple of years after regaining our independence. And well, the legend has it, so we started as an ISP, and the legend has it that there wasn't a good enough router operating system for us, so we decided, why not make our own? So 21 plus years later, we're still working on it and improving it all of the time. Initially, we were installing it on regular PCs, and then we decided that we should make also our own hardware, so to make a complete solution. So we started to make router boards. Well, in the beginning, they were still quite huge devices, and were just a custom version of a PC. But nowadays, you can have a fully functional router with VPNs and even BGP if you want in your pocket. So yeah, and afterwards we decided that we should also travel around and meet our customers, our users, our friends. Everything we do, we run from Riga, Latvia, so that's our only office in the world. So we decided that it might be more convenient for us to go around the world and meet people. And so we started to make our MikroTik user meetings, or MUMs. First one was in Prague, and since then we have had many of our events. And well, some of the biggest ones are in Indonesia. We also had a very huge event from Latvia. A fairly small country in Northern Europe. We enjoy very long winters, and well, it supports all of the regular features that you would expect on a modern routing operating system. And there are a lot of routers unique things that are not available on other platforms. Well, we have our router boards, so already mentioned that small routers, core routers. We also have lots of outdoor wireless equipment for making links, short, long distance links. And we also have our switches, CRSs and CSSs. CRSs are cloud router switches, which also have a layer 3 functionality. CSSs are layer 2 switches. But all of them, even the CSSs, even the smallest CSSs, are managed switches, so you can do all of the VLANs and access lists and so on. And we have also a couple of CRSs with the PoE out. So there's a 24-port version and also 8-port version. So plenty of devices to choose from. And yeah, so no matter where you are, you can find a MUM near you. So there have been already more than 180 of them all around the world. And well, there are quite a few also coming up for the remaining of the year. So here from Latvia, we are 3. Carlis is from the sales, so the tall guy. If you have any questions regarding how to become a distributor, or any other similar questions, so please seek out Carlis. Viesturs is from the support, so if you have any technical questions, come to the registration desk and ask him. And me, Kaspers, I'm from, well, generally, my main task is, main responsibilities are regarding training. So if you want to become a MikroTik certified trainer, if you want to establish an academy, if you're generally interested in how to attend engineer level courses by our certified trainers, you can come and talk to me about all of that. And also, of course, you can come and ask me some technical questions, and I'll be glad to help you. Short schedule of today, so we'll have presentations till 1 o'clock. Then we'll have lunch just here next to the exhibitors hall. The ones with the vouchers will have the lunch. If not, then well, there are places around also where to eat. We'll come back at 2:30. We'll have more presentations at the end of the day. We have this tradition that we do a lottery, so we gift some additional prizes from MikroTik for the people who have stayed until the end. So to get the prize, you have to be there, and you have to be here inside, not somewhere in the hotel. You have to be here. And also, not only we, but also our exhibitors will also give some gifts. So please remain until the end, and afterwards we'll have some drinks and socializing. So another reason to stay. We have Wi-Fi here, so SSID is MUM and the password is MikroTik with all small letters. So it's throughout the event here and in the exhibitors hall. Also, we are live streaming this event to YouTube and also recording everything. So if any of your friends or colleagues who wanted to be here but couldn't come, you can mail them this or send them this link, and they can watch it online. And of course, afterwards, all of the presentation videos and slides will be on our website. We would like to say special thanks to Lin ITX for helping us in organizing this event. So thank you. And let's get to our product part. So some of our latest products include our 60 gigahertz devices. And let's start with the wireless wire. So we're using the WAP form factor. And so it's a device that works in 60 gigahertz frequency. So regular Wi-Fi is 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. So this uses 60 gigahertz. So it doesn't interfere with the Wi-Fi. So in the areas where the Wi-Fi is already crowded with lots of access points and so on, you can use this to transfer data. And so this device provides speeds up to 1 gigabit both ways. So you can get up to 2 gigabits. So, well, you could say full duplex. So without wires, up to 200 meters. It has a beam-forming antenna. So it means that you don't even have to align them like super precisely. Yeah, so you just point them each the other's way, and it will form a link. So in the wireless wire kit, you get two devices that are already paired before. So you just plug a wire in each of them, plug them into electricity, and you're good to go. A wireless transparent bridge is automatically created, and it's also encrypted. Actually, here in this event, we're also using a wireless wire for the Wi-Fi. So by the look, these devices all look the same, but there are also a 60 gigahertz device that connects to 60 gigahertz device there, connects to a 60 gigahertz device there. So they are for the backbone of the network, and then there are wireless access points for the Wi-Fi, right? And the same is in the exhibition hall, and also you can then go there and look at the map, how this all works together. So there's also monitoring on all of them, and you can check it out at the LinITX desk. So that's wireless wire. Also, what we have is a wireless wire dish. The name is LHG60G. So these devices also provide 1 gigabit each way, full duplex. But so these are outdoor devices, and you can go up to 1.5 kilometers with them. Yeah, full speed. You can, well, depending on the situation, you can go a little bit further also. But so up to 1.5 kilometers, it will be full speed. If there's a heavy rain or something like that, the speed might drop a little bit, but you will still have a connection. Yeah, so 60 gigahertz frequency is susceptible to weather conditions. Yeah, so for example, to heavy rain or fog. So these devices, both the wireless wire and the wireless wire dish, have a ARM CPU, so they are powerful to provide you that full gigabit, and the link is also encrypted. For lower speed requirements, we have recently released a SXT Square Lite 60 device that is a 100 megabit one. So the idea is that we also have a separate unit for the wireless wire, regular one, the access point mode. So you can connect up to 8 of clients to one access point, and so they will share the same 1 gigabit total throughput. So in this regard, for example, if you connect up to 8 CPEs, each of them anyway will get around 100-125 megabits. So perhaps you don't need to get all of the 8 ones full gigabit. Yeah? So or the bandwidth or the actual bandwidth requirements are lower, for example. So in that case, you could go for a lower cost SXT squared device and use it. Just to put it all on one table, so the distances that you can get with our various devices. We also have a LHG Lite 60 for outdoors, so that goes up to 800 meters. So the regular wireless wire dish to wireless wire dish, you could get 1.5 kilometers. Regular WAP to WAP 200 meters. LHG to WAP 800 meters, and SXT to WAP also 200. Yeah, so there are plenty of devices to choose from regarding questions later. Okay, sorry. So regarding that, you can choose any one you want. So that's about our 60 gigahertz devices. Another category where we have released new products is LTE. So initially, SXT was our first LTE product, and this is a new version of it, which was released this summer. So the LTE is already built in. So there are now 2 Ethernet ports, and on the second you have PoE out. So you can, for example, attach a camera there and provide the data and electricity for the camera. So it has 2 SIM cards. Well, either you want to switch a carrier, or maybe it's a more cost-effective to get 2 SIMs from the same carrier and with different data plans and so on. So, and you can then switch in the router which of the SIM cards you're using. So there are 2 versions: the international one, which supports quite a lot of LTE bands, and there's also US version, which supports different bands. So this is SXT LTE, which is well, the idea is that you put it in the remote areas where the reception is weak, and maybe the phone is not enough anymore to get a good reception, or a regular LTE device. So this one you can point to a tower somewhere further. There's also a LTAP Mini portable device that provides Wi-Fi in 2.4 gigahertz, so you get the internet from the LTE and create a local access point for a car, bus, perhaps train. So there's a built-in GPS, so you can also do tracking where the device is located. There are optional external antennas, both for the GPS and LTE for better reception. Oh, there's a serial port if you want to add some other thing to it. Yeah, so this is a device for vehicles. So there are two options available. One, the kit version, which includes the modem already built in. That is a category 4 LTE category 4 modem, which supports up to 150 megabits of download and 50 megabits of upload. And there's also an option to go with without the LTE, so you can then, well, we currently already have 2 different LTE modems, Mini PCI Express, so depending on the bands you need, you can choose one or the other. So yeah. Or of course it works with also with other LTE modems as well. So yeah, speaking about LTE, we recently have also released another LTE card, which makes use of the prior WiMAX bands. So you can use also that if these bands are available where you want to use it. So that's about our recently released LTE products. On the wireless, we have several dual band routers that came out recently. So the HAP-AC Square, so the next version of the HAP-AC. So it's a dual band router with both 2 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So you can you can also mount it to the wall or just use it in a tower as a tower case. So this also has a ARM CPU which supports IPsec encryption up to 400 megs. So you can also encrypt all of the traffic. And it has 2 radios, 2 chains on both of the interfaces. Also, there's a CAP-AC ceiling access point, which of course you can mount to the wall also. So yeah, this again supports both 2 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz. On 5 gigahertz it's AC. There are 2 Ethernet ports on this one. Second has the PoE out. So you can power either another access point or a camera or something else. This also supports IPsec encryption, and there are 2 cases. So there is this round one that you can use, or if you want, you can switch over to a rectangular one, which has the form factor as the SXT Square. So yeah, this is how it attaches to the wall. One software feature that we have recently introduced for this and other devices is called dark mode. So these devices have pretty bright LEDs, and if you deploy them in, let's say, hotel room, well, during the night they could be quite bright. So we have introduced a function called dark mode that you can set up so they'll switch off afterwards. So you connect, check that everything is working, and they switch off. So you can set it manually, you can set it automatically, and actually the middle of this device is a button, so you can even program that when you click it, it goes into dark mode, you click it again and comes back. Yeah, so you can even do it manually with a button. So yeah, this is CAP-AC. The next one that we have released just recently, like a couple of weeks ago, is a router board 4011. So the new in the series. So before that we had 2011, 3011. Now it's 4011. So there are two. There will be two flavors. This is the Ethernet one. So it has a very powerful 4-core ARM CPU. If you're familiar with our RB1100, a big router with 13 ports, this one uses the same CPU. So it supports up to 2 gigabits of IPsec encryption, 10 gigabit Ethernet ports, and there's also an SFP plus port, so 10 gig port. Has a gigabyte of RAM, PoE out. Yeah, very powerful router. And also there's a Wi-Fi version with both 2 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. The 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi has 4 chains. And you can also go up to 160 megahertz channels. So this is a very fast and very powerful wireless router as well. We have it with us, so you can later come and see it in person at our registration table. The next one, which recently has been released, is our Hex S. So a new version of Hex with the addition of an SFP port. So this is a very affordable price router that you can have a very fast IPsec encryption. So it supports up to 470 megabits of IPsec. And in a very small form factor and low cost. This supports also PoE in and has also PoE out. So a very powerful small router. And so it supports also the high voltage input AFAT. Next one, let's talk about our outdoor wireless devices. So there are a couple of new there. So SXT Square Lite 2, so a 2 gigahertz CPE for so short distance links, and yeah, so this is a very affordable one. So for getting the last mile, and there's also a new LDF. On 2 gigahertz, so the LDF light dish feed. So this device comes in a box very small, and you can attach an offset satellite dish to it, so you don't have to ship the antenna all over the world. And depending on how far you want to go, how powerful antenna you need, you just get a bigger dish. So this is our LDF. And there's also a new man-box antenna for 2 gigahertz. So before that we also had released already 2 antennas, man-box 15S and man-box 19S, which both were on 5 gigs. So this is a 12 dBi 2 gigahertz sector antenna, 120-degree beam width. And the router board is already also built in, so it's a full package. Next, let's talk about our switches and our fiber products. So recently released CRS 328 switch with 20 SFP ports, and also 4 combo ports. So physically on device there are 8 ports, 4 copper ones and 4 fiber ones, 4 SFP ones. So well, one from each can work at a time, but you can, if you want, use them also as failover. So you can plug in all of 8, and then in the operating system choose which one to use at which time. And then let's say the fiber goes down, and well, the router can detect it. You can then, using router scripting, switch over automatically to the other one. And then when the fiber comes up, you can switch back. Yeah, so it also has 2 power supply units for redundancy. So that's our SFP switch. And there's also SFP plus ports for 10 gig ports for uplink, for example. Also, we recently released a CVDM device. Yeah, so to combine up to 8 different SFP streams into one, fiber streams into one, and transfer them to a remote location up to 40 kilometers, and then split them again. Yeah, so this is a fully passive device. Yeah, so no need for electricity, and we have also all of the modules for it. Yeah, so and depending on which you need. And from our router board category, so this category is product category is where we sell the board itself without any enclosure, without any additional power supply. You can use it to integrate into your own custom solutions. So this is a very powerful board for making a router. So it has a 4-core CPU. There's plenty of RAM, 1 gig. IPsec encryption, hardware IPsec encryption, there's PoE out, there's PoE in, and so on. Yeah, so, and also a micro SD card for additional storage. And so this is a device to make your custom router solution. So these are devices that we have already released, and also I would like to show you some of our upcoming products that some of them will come out very, very soon, some a little bit later. So the one that is coming out any day now is LHG LTE device. So we have the SXT LTE, which is for remote locations. So this one, I could say this is for extremely remote locations. So this goes even further. Yeah, so you can use it where there is almost no reception, and then you just point it to a tower, align it, and use it. So it has a LTE, again category 4 LTE modem built in. The modem also supports 3G, yeah, so in Latvia it has been already used in some remote locations for the car. This example is for the car charging stations, so they need also a connection there. Yeah, so this device can connect to towers quite far. And we have actually brought it with us in our luggage. So make sure you come and see it in person. It's big. Also, an upcoming device is a Powerline IP. This will be a small access point that you can plug into a socket and make a link between them and make a wireless. So it will automatically pair with new devices, and so the pluggable part becomes an interface, another interface. Yeah, so you can connect them together. So for example, you plug it in one room, plug it in another room, and there's a network between them. So you can use them as just connecting via wires or create a Wi-Fi. So this will be a 100 meg device. Another product that is coming out any minute now is CRS 305, Small Sfp Plus Switch, so 10 gig switch with 4 ports, 4 SFP Plus ports, and a gigabit Ethernet. So it has a metallic enclosure. There are 2 DC jacks, and this also I can come and see at our desk. The next one will be a little bit bigger SFP switch. So this will have 8 SFP Plus ports and 1 gig. And we are using the CCR 9-core passive cooling case, which for the SFP Plus proves to be very, very good one. So, and well, it's a silent case, so there are no fans for cooling. So you can put it quite close to you and feel good about it. Next one that we'll have some time later next year is 24 SFP Plus switch. So a couple of months ago in MAM in Berlin, we announced several upcoming switches, so our roadmap for the next year, and one of them was a 32-port SFP Plus switch. And afterwards, we got a lot of feedback from customers, from distributors, that they would love to see a switch, also SFP switch with higher speed ports. So we decided that we will take away one 8-port SFP Plus block and replace it with 2 QSFP ports, so 40 gig ports. So instead of that one, we'll be making this one. So it will have 24 10 gig ports to 40 gig ports. Next one that we're planning to release within the next year is 8 10 gig copper Ethernet port switch that will also have 4 combo ports, combo plus ports, meaning that will be combo between 10 gig copper and SFP plus. So that's also on our roadmap. And we're planning also to go for the big ones, so for the 48 gig switches. So there will be two versions available, both with 48 gigabit ports, with 4 SFP plus, so 10 gig, and 2 QSFP, so 40 gig. And so the first one, let's say, will be a regular one, and the second one will be with PoE out. So all of those 48 ports will be PoE. Currently we have 24 port PoE out switch, so we'll have also a 48 one. So this concludes the hardware part. Also, I would like to tell you some things that we are working on the software part. And the first one is that we are working on the MikroTik app for the iOS. So we have had the Tik app for the Android for a while, which started more or less as a Winbox for the phone, which it works fine, right? And you can do configuration while on the go. But for the iOS version, when we started to make the iOS version, we decided that we should do a little redesign and simplification. So the idea is that this app will help the regular users once they get their router home to do the initial setup. Yeah, so we'll start with simple things. Yeah, so the first one will be implementing an easy to do initial setup, like setting an SSID for the Wi-Fi, setting the password for the Wi-Fi, setting the password for the router, getting a notification if there's a newer version available so you can update, seeing how many users have connected to the Wi-Fi, and so on. Yeah, so we're using also fairly recently introduced feature Internet Detect, where the router detects on which port the internet has been connected. So, well, by default, the configuration is made so that for the home routers you connect the internet to the first port. But well, you could go for a different one and use the Internet Detect feature to change the configuration for you. So that's what the Tik app will do in the beginning, and then we'll see how it goes and what other things we can add to it. And it still has the advanced settings part, so you can go into advanced part, and there you have the sections, the same sections that you have in the Winbox. Yeah? So you can also do that. There's already beta version out. So meaning that if you want to try it out on your iPhone or iPad, go to our Twitter account. There's like a couple of days ago, we posted a QR code for the test version. So you need to have a test flight app on the phone. You scan that QR code, and you'll get access to this beta version. And when you install it and try it out, please send us some feedback how you like it and what could we also improve there further. Yeah, so that's what we are working on in the TCAP. Another thing is, well, you probably already know that we really love our 60 GHz devices, and we are working very hard to making them even better. So just some things that we have recently improved in the software. So, for example, well, I said before, wireless wire dish to wireless wire dish, you can go up to 1.5 kilometers. Well, but in the recent versions, we have improved the distances quite a lot. It's still in the testing phase, so but you could expect distances now up to 4 kilometers instead of 1.5. Yeah, depending on the situation and depending on the frequency used and so on. So we are working hard to increase these distances. Also, there are a lot of other things. There are many things that actually go into each Rotorus release nowadays regarding 60 GHz. So there are, even if you have updated recently, when you're trying out 60 GHz devices, and if you're using them, please make sure you upgrade to the newest ones. So there are improvements in point-to-multipoint setups, and well, lots of stability improvements, the distance, the sensitivity, beamforming. For example, if you remember that in the beginning when we released wireless wire, it was meant for 100 meters, and then just by improving the software, that by working really hard on the software, we managed to increase the distance up to 200 meters by not changing the power of the device or anything else. So this is well, we are focusing a lot on this, and please make sure that you're running the newest version when using 60 GHz devices. Well, you should make sure that you're using the newest version always, but also very important on the 60 gig. So finally, well, if you need some additional help, your local distributor is your first tier support. You can also hire MikroTik consultants. There are many of them in the UK, and quite a few also are here today. Our official manual page is wiki.mikrotik, with lots of examples and explanations how it all works. Of course, you can email us to the support, and well, of course, you can attend the training class. There are quite a few MikroTik certified trainers here today, or join an academy class in a university. And by the way, just recently there's the first MikroTik academy in the UK. So very much thank you to Ron for that. So yeah, plenty of opportunities to get additional help. And after the MUM, all of these presentations that you'll see today will be available on the MUM page, mummikrotik.com. All of the videos will also be there, and they'll also be available on our YouTube page. And the ones that are attending this event with the voucher or paid registration, you will receive your license afterwards in the email. Thank you very much, and enjoy the MUM.